So, I mean, obviously, that means that it was different than what you're doing now, from going from sports to
Yeah,
creating carpentry, essentially,
exactly.
cabinets and whatnot. So, I guess you answered the question of like why you were prevented from pursuing that. You had to have that like idealization that it's more about like the needs that you have to fulfill instead of your wants.
Yeah,
It wasn't about like, oh, like I gotta, like what do I want, but it's like, like you got kind of put in a category, a
exactly.
box of.
And that's something you get. I got this very early on as a child.
Yeah.
You know.
Were you upset about that, or?
No, no, I was never upset about it. Absolutely not. I'm actually happy about it because when my father left in the morning, he gave us a small chore. When he got home, it had to be done, correct?
Right.
But as a small child, I already realized if I want, for example, if I want a warm apartment in the winter,
Yeah.
I probably have to get the firewood that we need, correct?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's very. It's for me personally. I'm very grateful the way I grew up. So,
What contributed to helping you build your business from its inception to actual creation?
up in a society where failure is not really something looked upon lightly. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the German, Austrian mentality.
Right.
Back in the day, obviously, basically married me with some of these contractors. The architect said, plain and simple, this is the guy you have to use, right? If you do the job.
Yeah.
And I found that always great because that opened a lot of doors for me. You know what I mean? Because I would have otherwise probably not got to know these people, correct? Right. If you don't get the introduction from a lead architect, you know? And that I always found very helpful,
Right.
And then once you have a reputation, then it's easier to link up with people, So, but for me to get my foot into the door, that was very helpful for me, And I'm still, after 25 years, still working with the same architect.
Right. So it's like it's more than just like, oh, I met this person, he opened up a door for me, see you later. It's like you guys are still working together, the connection is still there. It's like a carbine, steel rope in a way,
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So what were some of the business planning considerations you addressed to bring into existence?
Well, I didn't really. This is one thing that's difficult in this country. It's a little easier where I come from. For example, in Austria, I would probably get a very cheap property from the township. You know what I mean? And I would get government assistance to start my business, correct? And then after maybe 3 or 4 years, you pay some of it back, So in America, it's quite the opposite, correct? You really don't get anything. You have no credit in the beginning, correct?
Right.
You have to establish first credit, You can have all the money in the world, but if your credit score is not up, correct?
Right. Like you're basically screwed. Yeah, you're screwed.
Exactly. So that's why I obviously built my own credit with the money that I constantly reinvested in my business, correct?
Right.
I throughout the years always paid my bills, and then you establish credit with your suppliers, okay? And then once you have good credit, then everybody knocks on your door, correct?
Right. Because I know you're reliable. You're smart with your money.
Yes.
You.
But you have to get there first.
Right.
And to get there would be nice if you get that ahead of time, correct?
Right. Yeah. You already have that head start in a way.
It's very difficult to get assistance in this country for a small business owner. That's what I found.
It's because it's very competitive. Nobody cares about helping out. Everyone wants to just reach the top. Until you meet those people who actually care.
Also, there's so many people start things and they fail, correct?
Yeah.
So it's hard to help everybody along, correct?
Right. It's like everyone has a vision. They want to make money, but they don't know the necessary like steps to acquiring that.
And now I have $100,000s of business lines of credits that I don't need,
Exactly.
But I have just in case,
Right.
because I try still until today to pay my bills on time and make my business with the funds that I have within the business, So,
it's like you're sitting comfortably, but like you're also not, you don't want to get so comfortable that you're like, oh, I have enough money flowing in that I don't have to worry about it. You're like, okay, I'm going to stay one step ahead, make sure that I do have money still in my pocket, still in my bank account, still in credit, invested, that's smart.
It's something to learn when you don't have any money, correct, for a long time. Then you understand how important it is. Yeah.
The people who grew up with money, often kind of like neglect it. They think that, oh, I have money, it's whatever. But they start spending money recklessly. They're like, oh, I'm gonna buy this $25,000 jacket, this purse for my mom, until they have zero money, and then they're like, what do I do now? Yeah. Question is, as you assess the future sustainability of your business, what are some of your short-term or long-term goals for your business?
So the downfall with my business is it's really, I am the business, correct? Most likely, the only thing I can probably for a penny to the dollars, I can sell my equipment.
Right.
That's really what my business is worth,
Right.
Or maybe the building I'm in, if I own it, correct?
Right.
But other than that, my business is, I am the business, correct? So if I, for example, take on for the next 6 months jobs and I can't complete them, there will be no business.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
It's really, in that sense, it's not a good business to have, correct?
Right.
You're probably better off with a laundromat.
Right.
Or, or a franchise, correct?
Right.
Subway store.
Right.
Dunkin' Donuts,
Something that can just run without having to,
My business doesn't run without me. I guarantee you that.
Right.
It's so my long-term goals are just, I'm going to keep working, but my long-term goals are just to get into furniture, building furniture, like he says, and just get away from the custom work, like I do. Because that's extremely intense, the business I'm in.
Right.
The quality standards, the deadlines, the working conditions that we have are not really that good,
So it's sort of like it's like high risk, high reward. Being in a custom business, it's a lot riskier, but in return you do get those high rewards out of it, high payment.
Oh yeah, you don't get that big for what you do. That's the problem. But it's we're dealing with clients in Manhattan that buy apartments for $50-60 million. Okay, so the deadlines that we have that are posed on us and the restrictions from the buildings are just so intense, that you have to just somehow make it happen.
Right.
And that's the hardest, the hardest part,
Yeah.
It's not something that a lot of people are built for.
Yeah.
It's just, and the business itself won't change, It's, you either do it or you don't.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to like wait up for you to,
It's not going to get...
It's not like, oh, Walter, you're gonna you want a break, Like we'll give you that break, and then when you're ready, it's like it's it's savage, it really is.
It is really honest. And the way we get treated sometimes, we have to. You really feel like a second-class citizens, in these buildings, because it's actually appalling. I can't even get into it, You know what I mean?
I got you. As the founder and owner of Walter's Custom Cabinetry, with the goals you have identified for the sustainability of your business, what do you seek to ultimately achieve through this business?
Yeah, I wanna achieve a comfortable retirement, I would say, I would like to maybe one of these days coming up, start my own furniture line, something like that.
Yeah.
Like go to more of that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said before.
Like forging a name for yourself or for a product you basically develop, At the end of the day, it's really a paycheck too, just making a living, correct?
Yeah.
So
keep the lights on and whatnot.
Keep the lights on, yeah. It always comes down to you'll find out all on your own.
All right. What brings you satisfaction in your position, and what are some of the challenges and frustrations being the proprietor of your business?
Yeah, the satisfaction is to fabricate or go through a job and everybody's happy.
Mm-hmm.
The quality's there. The timing is good. No drama in the shop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Just to run a smooth operation.
Yeah.
What more can you ask for? Correct.
Right.
I can do with all the drama.
Right.
It's not.
It's like, why make it more complicated than it needs to be?
Yeah. There's never any yelling in my shop here. Everything is just calm and collective.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we operate.
Things go more smoothly that way.
Yeah, or if people can leave their personal issues out the door, that's a huge problem in a business when people take their personal problems, to work.
Right.
Yeah. Very distracting. Especially in my environment, it's the machinery. Everything is so dangerous.
Yeah.
If you make a mistake, you lose a finger, you lose a hand. It's that easy.
Mm-hmm. It's like you have to mentally be in
focus.
it. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
All right. As you contemplate the future of Walter's Custom Cabinetry, what are your plans for its future? Do you intend to transfer ownership to someone else or maintain it within your relations?
I'm just going to maintain it within my relations, and when I'm done, I'm done, correct?
Right. Go as long as you can,
No, I don't want to go that long, trust me. It's very stressful.
Right.
I don't intend to go longer than 60, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. And final question. What advice would you share with someone like myself who may one day aspire to own and lead my own business?
It's hard work and dedication, really. It's you have to stop playing. You gotta get serious. And you always have to look ahead. Especially with the financial part of the business. You can't get people to work for you if you can't pay them, correct?
Right.
It's basically the business comes first.
Right.
You might not be able to go home and attend a birthday party on one day, for your daughter, because you
gotta work.
People always say, my father wasn't there for me, when I grew up. But then again, it always comes down to the same thing, correct? Who pays? Who fills up the refrigerator, correct?
Exactly.
Who eat?
Who pays for the birthday party?
Who pays for the birthday? No, that's the reality, that we live in, correct?
Right.
And as a business owner, you have to understand that. You have to understand that there's huge sacrifices you have to make.
Right.
I had times where I paid everybody else, but not myself.
Mm-hmm.
And to mentally take that, that takes a lot of focus.
Yeah,
okay?
it takes sacrifice. I bet to run such a successful business. It doesn't just happen.
It doesn't just happen. That's for very few people. It does, but I think for 99.9% of the people, it doesn't.
Right. That's just the reality.
That's the reality. Yeah.
The working world,
Yeah.
Not even the rich get to sleep, So.
Not even the rich. I deal with the rich every day, and trust me, these people are. When I look at their kids, they're early on training their kids, with the best education. You know what I mean? They got tutors coming over. They're really invested in that kid.
They're training them, their minds, you know, get them locked in.
And the kind of that what my father did to me, but just in working with my hands, obviously, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of work ethic, you know, that's what I got, you know, from my parents.
Right.
You know? I didn't get a tutor, but, you know, I understood early on that, you know, nothing just comes to you.
Yeah, nothing is just handed over, you know. In the long run, you know, those who are treated with a silver spoon in their mouth will learn, you know, that.
But the beauty is that you realize you made it on your own, correct?
Right.
That's one thing that nobody can take from me, and I'm proud of that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
nobody can take that passion, that drive, you know.
And if that business goes away tomorrow for some reason, like I told you, I drive to Home Depot, pick up some tools, and I'll be the next day.
Yeah.
Correct?
Right. All right. Thank you so much, Uncle Walter. With your help and your expertise, you know, I guarantee I can fulfill that. So thank you so much again.
You're a very proud man.
And hey, I get it from my family. You know what I mean? Growing up with you guys, you know, like you said with your dad, you know, he taught you.
Yeah.
You know, I was taught from a very young age what it takes to be successful. You know, a hustler's mindset, if you will. You know, so thank you again.
Okay.
I'm going. Bye.